let's talk about something that feels a little bit like science fiction, but it's happening right now. We're diving into a project called Kite, which is building the financial plumbing for a future that's run by AI. We're talking about an economy where software agents can operate, pay, and collaborate all on their own. So how are they planning to pull this off? Let's get into it.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if your personal AI could do more than just answer questions? Imagine it managing its own little budget, booking you a ride, ordering your groceries, paying for access to a database, all without you having to do a thing. That's the world Kite is aiming to build.
But before we can really appreciate the solution, we've got to wrap our heads around the problem. We are standing right on the edge of what people are calling an agentic economy. So what in the world does that actually mean?
Well, simply put, it's an economy built for machines by machines. Think about countless little AI programs all needing to pay each other for different services. Maybe one AI pays another for a tiny piece of data, or for a split second of processing power. These payments need to be instant, they need to be incredibly small, and they need to happen millions of times a second.
And this is where we hit a wall. Our current financial systems, and yeah, even most of the blockchains out there today, they were all built for us, for humans. They're just too slow and way too expensive for the huge number of microtransactions that AIs are going to need. It's kind of like trying to run a supercomputer on an old dial-up internet connection. It just doesn't work.
And that is exactly where Kite enters the picture. This isn't just another crypto project that slapped an AI sticker on the box. No, this is a purpose-built piece of infrastructure designed from the ground up to solve that exact supercomputer on dial-up problem.
So here's the key thing to understand. Kite is a foundational Layer 1 blockchain. A good way to think about it is this. Instead of trying to force self-driving cars to navigate old, confusing city streets, they're building a brand new superhighway just for them. And the fact that it's compatible with Ethereum, that's a huge deal. It means developers can use the tools they already know and love, which makes it way easier to get people building on this new network.
And this slide, this is basically the secret sauce. This is what makes Kite tick. At its core is a totally new consensus model called proof of attributed intelligence. So instead of just proving work or stake, it verifies an AI's actual identity and its capabilities, which is absolutely crucial for a machine economy. This allows for unique IDs so you know who you're dealing with, rules you can program in to set spending limits, and the whole thing is built to handle those millions of tiny instant payments we talked about.
But look, amazing tech isn't enough to build an entire economy. You need fuel. You need a currency. And for Kite, that fuel is the Kite token. So let's take a look at how it's designed to power this whole thing.
Okay, so the total supply is capped at 10 billion tokens. It's a big number, but the really smart part here is the launch strategy. Only about 18% of that was available right at the start. That means the vast majority of tokens are being held back to be released slowly over time to fund development, reward people for participating, and really grow the ecosystem instead of just flooding the market on day one.
And you can see that strategy perfectly right here in this chart. A massive 48%, almost half, is set aside for the community and the ecosystem. This is a huge signal. It's designed to get developers excited about building on Kite and to get as many people using it as possible. It's a big bet on grassroots growth.
And the token itself has a few really important jobs. First, it's used to pay for transactions, like gas on Ethereum. You can also stake it to help keep the network secure and earn rewards for doing so. It also gives you a vote in how the project is run, and finally, it acts like a key that unlocks special AI services built on the platform.
So that's the grand vision and the tech behind it. But is anybody actually paying attention? Is this just a cool idea on a whiteboard? Well, let's look at the early market signals, because they tell a pretty interesting story.
First off, the financial backing here is serious. We're talking over $33 million raised, with huge names like PayPal Ventures and Coinbase Ventures getting involved. These are not small-time players. This shows you that there is significant institutional credibility behind this project.
And that credibility? It translated directly into major market interest. On day one, its debut day, the market cap soared to $159 million. That's just a massive wave of initial excitement from the get-go.
The trading volume was just as nuts, $263 million in the first few hours alone. Clearly, Kite didn't just launch quietly in the background. It made a huge splash on some of the biggest exchanges out there.
But beyond all the market hype, the technology itself is actually performing.
An average block time of 1 second is blazing fast. And more importantly, it directly supports the core promise of the whole network, delivering the instant transactions that an AI economy is absolutely going to demand.
Okay, so the potential is huge, the launch was explosive. It's really easy to get caught up in the excitement, right? But it's critical to have a balanced view. Kite is facing some very, very real hurdles on its path to building out this new economy.
The road ahead has 4 major speed bumps. First is adoption. The whole agentic economy idea is still pretty new. Will developers actually show up and build real things on Kite? Then you've got competition. Kite isn't the only project trying to be the blockchain for AI. Execution is also key. The mainnet launch has to be secure and stable. And finally, regulation. That's the big unknown. How are governments going to react when AI start managing their own money?
So where are we right now? Well, the project is currently in its testnet phase. The full mainnet launch, the big show, is planned for late 2025 or sometime in 2026. After that, the real work of getting people to use it begins. This is definitely a long-term vision.
And that really leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Is Kite building the essential backbone for the next evolution of the internet? Or is it a brilliant solution that's just a little too early, a solution waiting for a problem that hasn't fully arrived yet? That is the billion-dollar question, and the answer is going to shape the future of both AI and the web. Thanks for joining us.